upper body pulling movement. So like a lat pull down, for example. And then on the lower body part, we could do a squat or a lunge, or if you're at the gym, you could do a leg press, right? Something that gets multiple joints moving in the upper body, supersetted with something that has multiple joints working in the lower body. And if you put your workout together like that, you're going to notice that it's hard, right? But it's very advantageous because it requires less rest time. And that's how we're going to get in and out of the gym faster, because you don't like to be there, right? So if you think about it, when I'm doing my bench press and I have my deadlift next, the muscles that work during the bench press are not the ones that work during the deadlift, right? So I'm kind of resting, even though I'm doing something. I'm resting the other part of my body. And when I'm doing the deadlift, now the muscles that are used during the bench press are resting, right? So it allows me to move through my workout faster, which means less total time in the gym. Welcome to Only the Greatest Podcast. If you're feeling stuck and unsure what to do next in your fitness journey, we might be what you're looking for. My name is Philip. I own and operate OTG Fitness, which is a private personal training gym on the south side of Houston in Webster. I do this podcast every week with my best friend, Daryl. We've been friends since third grade and working out together ever since. Also joining us today will be Sean. He's the one that makes this podcast not only sound great, but look good as well. Our goal here is to help Houston make its way up the ladder of health and fitness. So if you're in the Houston area and ready to become the greatest version of yourself, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Today's topic stems from something I heard from someone the other day, a potential client that came into the gym. And actually, I do hear this quite often, but this particular person was very adamant about their dislike for the gym. They dislike exercising. They don't like to work hard, don't like to sweat. And if you're listening to this right now, maybe you're that person as well. Or you just don't, maybe you don't like it a little bit, you kind of dislike it, or maybe you flat out hate it like this person did. Either way, I really think that it's important to understand that that's okay. And a lot of people do feel that way on the inside. But it's kind of one of those things where you have to pick your hard. It's going to be hard either way. You just have to ask yourself this question. Do you want it to be hard because you carved out a little bit of time out of your day and away from other responsibilities that you might have to do this hard thing? That's hard, right? Or do you want your life to be hard because you're out of shape, you're unhealthy, you can't do the things that you want to do, and you're not living the life that you want to live? Either way, it's going to be hard, right? So make that decision. And I also think that it's important to understand that in today's culture, society, whatever word you want to use, especially here in Houston, there's a lot of food, a lot of socializing. We're all busy with work. You do kind of have to go out of your way to focus on your health and your fitness. If you don't, and you just kind of go by, through life doing the normal things that everyone does, it's likely that you're going to be unfit and unhealthy. And I know that everyone has a lot of things going on, but that's when you just have to ask yourself that question: which hard do I want to pick? And if you've made the decision, which if you're listening to this, I'm assuming that you have, or maybe you're like on the fence with it, and maybe I can help you make that decision to kind of finalize it. You've decided that you do want to go through and figure out a way to make this happen. And that's my goal today, is to show you how to do that. Even if you hate working out, you don't like it, you don't like showing up, you find it very difficult to take time out of your day, you have just this total hatred for exercise, just know that it is possible. And we're going to go over a few things to kind of help you move in that direction. But let me preface by saying that I haven't always liked working out either. I grew up pretty overweight. I know what it's like to almost even look down on people that do exercise a lot and focus on their health, focus on their fitness. I was that guy. I lost almost 100 pounds. It was actually about 85 pounds. It's been about 12 years ago now. It's been a long time. I did it all through nutrition. Actually, all started with, I had a little bit of a stomach issue, and I didn't really know what was going on. Doctors couldn't figure it out. But all I knew is that when I ate better, I felt better. Simple, right? So I did that. I lost weight. Then people were like, hey, man, you're looking a little too skinny now. So like, make up your mind. Am I fat? Am I skinny? What's up? But either way, that's when I started working out and kind of brought it all together, right? And then with that, I started to grow a love and a passion for exercise, for fitness, for healthy living. But in the beginning, I guarantee you, I promise you, it was not that way. So if you're listening to this right now and you don't like to work out, I promise it's possible. And I'm going to help you make it a reality in your life by focusing on a few things. One, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is just the efficiency of a full body workout. Very popular these days is like the body part split. I feel like bodybuilders kind of started that. So we're going to talk about why full body workouts are better for someone that doesn't like to get in the gym, doesn't like to work out. We're going to talk about what that workout looks like. We're actually going to design a workout together for someone that dislikes being in the gym. And this works for at-home workouts as well. So let me mention that. You don't just have to be in the gym. This works for at-home workouts as well. And then we're going to talk about activity levels outside of exercise specifically. I think that's very important for someone that doesn't want to be in the gym very often and focusing on working out a lot. Getting active outside of your exercise program specifically is very important. So let's get started here. Talking about the full body workouts. Why full body? For someone that doesn't like being in the gym, why should you do full body? Because the first thing you might think, and this is true, full body workouts are harder. They are harder. But by doing it, we can spend less total time in the gym, right? We have to go less frequently, and we can spend less time each time we're there. And that cumulative amount of time really adds up, especially for someone that doesn't want to be there in the first place. I want you spending as little time in the gym as possible. If you think back a long time ago, maybe to like high school science class or something, there was this thing that you may remember learning called minimum effective dose. And that's what we're doing here. For someone that doesn't want to be there, what is the minimum amount of work I have to do to get the maximum outcome? And that's what we're trying to do here with the full body workouts. You know, more time doesn't always mean more results. Not if you're not doing the right things. I was actually, just before this episode, I was listening to a podcast that talked about how do you measure work? You know, how do you measure how much work you do? Because everyone works a lot of hours, right? But what's more important is how much or the results at the end of the amount of time. If you and I both work for 1 hour, but I get more done during that hour, I was a more efficient worker. And that's what we're trying to do here in the gym as well. We're trying to be as efficient as possible. We've had several clients come in. We often recommend people work out 3 days a week, 30 to 45 minutes, 3 times a week. And by doing that with full body, you can get the results that you want. It's less total work, but we're still getting the maximum outcome from it. So I hope I've convinced you on full body workouts 3 to 4 times a week. And so now let's talk about what exactly does that look like. We recommend upper body and lower body supersets. So you're doing an upper body exercise and a lower body exercise within one set. And the definition of a superset, if you're unsure, basically would be 2 workouts back to back with little or no rest between those two. So the upper body workout and the lower body workout together creates one set. And we call that a superset because it's 2 exercises. And we're going to do somewhere between 2 and 4 of those supersets for each superset, right? And we're going to do 3 different ones. And I'll break those down for you. So I hope this is making sense. So before we even start on the supersets, though, just so you understand what a superset is, I wanted to say that first. We have to do a quick warm up, right? So when it comes to warming up, few things to think about. One, we want to raise our body temperature, right? Get that heart rate elevated, get the body moving. You know, that's very important, right? Second, range of motion. We want to do something that puts our body through full, big ranges of motion. And third would be muscle activation. So those are kind of the 3 important pieces of a warm up. Now, this particular podcast is not getting into the specifics of what each one of those are. So definitely go check out some of our other content for maybe what those things mean. But just know that this warm up that gets your body temperature up and elevated heart rate, increases your range of motion, and activates the muscles should take somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes maximum. Okay. It should take at least probably about 5, maybe 3 to 5 minimum 10 minutes maximum. Anything more than 10, unless you're a high-level athlete or something like that, your warm-up probably shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, or maybe also if you're working through a particular injury. But again, completely different conversation when it comes to that. After that warm-up, we start with our supersets. And we're going to be doing compound exercises to start off for those supersets. So a compound exercise is something that involves 2 or more joints. So for example, a bench press, I'm using my shoulder and my elbow joints. That would be a compound exercise. A squat, I'm using my knee and my hip and actually my ankle as well. So that's 3. So we're using 3 different joints. That's a compound exercise. It works multiple muscles in your body at the same time, compared to something like a bicep curl. One joint, only the elbow joint is moving during that bicep curl. I'm only working one muscle at a time, much easier, right? So if we're looking at that efficiency thing, compound exercises are going to be a much more efficient way to exercise compared to isolation. So we're going to revolve our workout around compound exercises. So let me give you a couple of examples. If we wanted to do an upper body and lower body superset with compound exercises, let's start with upper body. We're going to do the bench press. And then the lower body, we could do something like a deadlift, where our hip and knee joints are both working at the same time, right? So I'm doing upper body superset, lower body superset. If you're not sure how to do these, we're not going to be discussing that in this particular podcast. You can look at some different content for that. But another option, we could do upper body pulling movement. So like a lat pull down, for example. And then on the lower body part, we could do a squat or a lunge, or if you're at the gym, you could do a leg press, right? Something that gets multiple joints moving in the upper body, supersetted with something that has multiple joints working in the lower body. And if you put your workout together like that, you're going to notice that it's hard, right? But it's very advantageous because it requires less rest time. And that's how we're going to get in and out of the gym faster, because you don't like to be there, right? So if you think about it, when I'm doing my bench press and I have my deadlift next, the muscles that work during the bench press are not the ones that work during the deadlift, right? So I'm kind of resting, even though I'm doing something, I'm resting the other part of my body. And when I'm doing the deadlift, now the muscles that are used during the bench press are resting, right? So it allows me to move through my workout faster, which means less total time in the gym, right? So we recommend 2 or 3 of these supersets. If on the last one, you would like to do some isolation, like a bicep curl, tricep extension, maybe some calf raises, some side raises for your shoulders, you can definitely do that. But I would encourage you to put them in the 3rd and final superset. If you're only going to be doing 2 supersets, I wouldn't do isolation at all. If you want to throw in a 3rd superset, that's where you can do your isolation, biceps, triceps, side raises, calves, stuff like that. You can also do some abs there in that 3rd superset. Totally fine. It's a good option. And then you want to finish your workout really strong, right? We want to do something metabolic, really hit it hard, and then boom, you're done. This can easily be done in about a 40 to 45 minute time period. And if you ever come to OTG, you'll notice that this is exactly how we structure our workouts, because we understand that a lot of people don't like to work out. You don't want to spend much time in the gym. You want to get in, you want to work, and you want to get out. You want to get on with your life. I'm good with that. That's cool. So thinking about this structure of a quick warm-up, 2 or 3 solid supersets, and then a hard metabolic finisher at the end is going to be the most efficient way that you can use your time while you're at the gym. Work as hard as you can during that time and get out. So you can get on with your life and you don't have to worry about it anymore. 3 or 4 times a week, awesome place to be. You can use music, you can use a podcast, an audiobook, or something like that to make it more enjoyable as well. Sometimes, I like to not have anything and just really focus on my workout, but I like to work out. If you don't, maybe you need something to distract you, right? So podcasts can be good because you can kind of lose your thoughts in that podcast. You're trying to think about this thing that you're listening to. Maybe you're listening to this while you work out. That'd be great. But that podcast or that audiobook gives you something to think about outside of the workout itself. And then music is really nice as well because you're just kind of escaping. You're not thinking about anything. You're just jamming, to some good music, going through your workout, getting it done as quickly as you can. So the having something else to focus on because you know you don't love the lifting weights part of the equation can be helpful as well. So just think about that, as you're putting this workout together. Maybe you put together like a workout playlist or pick a podcast that you like, something entertaining, something educational, whatever works for you that's going to help you get through the workout. Now we're done with our workout, right? Let's talk about getting active outside of the gym. Very important piece of the equation when it comes to people that don't like to exercise all that much. Find something you do like. Maybe it's riding a bike. Maybe it's taking your dog for a walk. Maybe it's some hiking, right? Anything that gets your body moving, we're going to consider that, activity outside of the gym that also helps keep us healthy, right? Healthy and fit. And that's what we want. So small things add up, even taking the stairs, parking further away at the store, taking small breaks during your workday. If you're a type of person that, sits on a computer all day, maybe once in the morning, once in the afternoon, take 10 minutes, do some body weight squats, walk around your desk a couple of times, maybe do some push-ups if you're capable of that. NEAT, which is NEAT, it's an acronym, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the amount of calories basically that you burn outside of specific exercise. These can really add up. So if you're just looking for caloric output, I promise you that you're going to get more caloric output from your NEAT than you are from your exercise. I hate to tell this to people, but the amount of calories you burn during a workout session is not as high as you want it to be. It's kind of unfortunate, but it is the reality of the situation. I'd say 45 minutes of good weightlifting might lead to, 300 to 500 calories burned. It's not a whole lot. So just your NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis throughout the day will often add up to more caloric output than your exercise itself. So just something to think about there. And guys, I wanted to keep this podcast short and sweet because the person that doesn't like to work out, you don't want to spend much time in it. You probably don't want to spend very much time learning about exercise either. So I hope that this stuff got across to you. Just remember that small things do add up. So if you just work out 3 days a week for 30 to 45 minutes and you commit to it for a long period of time, you will start moving in the right direction. If you need help, OTG can help. We are here to hold your hand through this entire journey. So whether it's through this channel, through our podcast and our other videos on YouTube, or it's actually coming into the gym, or it's just shooting us a DM on Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform, we're here to help. We want to hold your hand through this journey, and we just want to help Houston make its way up the ladder of health and fitness. So guys, I hope this information was helpful. Definitely check out some of our other stuff. You can check out our website. It's OTGfitness.com. We're a private personal training gym on the south side of Houston and Webster. And again, we just want to help Houston make its way up the ladder of health and fitness. So if there's anything I can do to help out, please just let us know. And guys, we'll see you next time.